Welcome to episode number 7 of the Founders Music Lab. I am Bill Waters. I'm the founder guy. We have Steve Lehmann, the music guy. Say hi, Steve. And we have Ed, the coffee dude. Hi, Ed.
Hi. I was trying to take a picture. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
I blew it.
Ed's still learning how to use these mics, but he's a good picture taker.
No, I was fading in.
Oh, were you fading? Oh, well, he's an expert now. Nice. So this week we don't have a guest. What we wanted to do this week was summarize what we've learned through the past 6 episodes. And then we wanted to talk about what we're building, give you an update of where we are, what we're thinking, leverage some of the input we got from our past guests. And of course, I'm sure you've listened to all of them. They are quite amazing, and I really appreciate the fact that they came in and gave us their time and expertise. We do have a whole lineup of some exceptional speakers coming in the next few months. But we just wanted to use this time to update you on where we are in our startup and to go into a deeper dive of what we're about, why we're doing this, and where we hope to get. So, with that, we'll continue. Why are we together? I mean, let's summarize that.
Sure.
Because FML, as we've stated before, has initially stood for F My Life. For those who are not as sensitive, it's Fuck My Life. Sorry, Aunt Mary Jo and Aunt Ann. Our 2 listeners. And really, that has everything to do with isolation and loneliness. Because when Steve and I got together, we had just lost our businesses. They were nasty losses for both of us, different types, and some are still recovering. And we really needed to get together and figure out what we're going to do next. And one of the things that we know is that you can never do things in isolation. And so we put our heads together and we came up with this idea of building a community around the things that are what we're good at, what we have a history with, where we've been very successful in the past, and can we bring those things together? And the commonality between the 2 of us, me as a founder and Steve as a musician, is community. We've always built community. We've always built other people up, with other people, for other people. We've given people projects and opportunities to do things, to have end goals, objectives, and to help each other out and know what it's like to be human. And so for us, we were thinking, okay, we want to build a community, but the community just can't be a whole bunch of people that are still lonely and isolated. It had to have active engagement. Okay, go ahead. Ed wants to add some color.
No, I was just
go ahead.
That would be a really sad community.
Yeah, it would be a sad community.
It's like you just go join and sit.
Disco. It's like a silent disco and everybody's listening to something different.
Dude, I've been part of those communities. They've usually been set up by corporations. And they don't get it, but we do. And we've had a lot of history with building very successful communities. And so we want to do that here. We want to build another community. For us, what are we selling? I mean, the bottom line is we're selling happiness. We're selling purpose and happiness. And where does that come through? It comes through acceptance and empowerment. And that empowerment comes through creativity, engagement, collective interaction. It comes through others. So this is what we're hoping to sell down the road. This is we're going to start out with these podcasts, talk to different people who have been through different experiences. All of them have had their own FMLs. And we'll touch on those so that at least you have a reference point. You have people to listen to that have been there, done that, know what it's like, and have come out of it very successfully. And so that's the start. That's these podcasts. Ultimately, we want to provide services, and there's a whole list of services that we'll be able to do. We're testing a bunch of them at this point. Right now, we've nailed down this podcast thing.
What other kind of services do you have in mind?
Well, music editing, choirs. Steve?
Let's find our list here.
Find our list here because I haven't memorized them all.
Yeah. Things that we plan to offer. Private music lessons.
Okay.
Everything we do will be 19 plus. So that's sort of the focus. Everything will be based on adults.
Let me just touch on that. The reason it's 19 plus is because once you're out of high school, you very rarely have options for recreational music.
It's true.
So anyways,
Yeah.
just wanted to add that in there.
So, yeah, private music lessons, choirs, bands, even we'll have a ukulele club. You can come in as an existing band, or you can come in and we can put you in a band. We will have songwriting groups. We will have songwriting retreats. When you look at some venues in town, some of them have their own productions, and then they're also available as a rental. So it's kind of like, it would be like a restaurant that you can either use the catering there or you bring in your own. So we will have things that we produce ourselves, or we will be available for people to bring in whatever they have if they want to use the space for whatever they want to use it for. One of the things that we could do is a live band karaoke. So we hire a band, and then people can come and sing with.
Or we
with
use
the
the members of our community as the band.
Yep. Coffee house nights where people come and perform. You know, our goal is to provide something for people to work towards as a group.
Okay, but so far what I'm hearing right now is what we have in mind is kind of like a school.
Yep.
Now, do you think it's more like a club than a school? Do you have this concept of it's a place to hang out or it's a place to go do something?
Yes.
It is. So the idea is you show up for a music lesson either by yourself or you have an ensemble lesson, and then you can stay in the space and have a coffee and hang out afterwards. Or you can come hear a concert, or you can come to a workshop or a product lunch, and then you can hang out afterwards or beforehand. If you know you have a lesson at 5 o'clock, your lesson goes 5 to 5:30, and then you can say, friends, meet me here at the space at 5:30, and we can have a pizza and a drink after my lesson.
And so there'll be food and that kind of thing around. Now, how's that going to affect sound quality or concentration or class time? Like, do you plan to have some kind of breakout of the spaces so you could have, a recording area versus, I've tried doing a podcast once in a cafe, and it's really noisy.
As somebody slams the door. I think a big part of what we're doing is going to be the main large space that will have a performance facility in it. It will have a stage with the proper PA system and lighting, with a projector, seating. So sometimes it will look a bit like a restaurant. Sometimes it will look like a bar. Sometimes it will look like a concert hall. Sometimes it will look like a rehearsal hall.
Cool.
But then you go through
Or
some
a presentation
doors.
hall for business meetings,
Absolutely.
for founder presentations, for founder collaborations.
Maybe I can start up stand-up.
Yeah. I think you've already started.
But then there'll be another part of the building, easily accessible, where music lessons will be taking place. We will have a small recording room as well, where the PA system will be tied into that. So we'll be able to get excellent live recordings from the stage. And then the plan is to also have a separate, smaller cafe that will be open to the public, regardless of what's going on in the large room.
Yeah, with like street view, so you can have normal hours. And you know, one of the things about these types of clubs and venues is to have service when you don't need to have service. Because in a school, you need a reception of some sort, because there's always people that want to interact with you that don't know how the engagement model is. Where a street-facing location like a cafe would be also your front end, your administration, your message taker, your conduit, and people like to meet in these places.
If there's anything you're going to learn from this podcast here, as a founder per se, and even as a musician, is that if you don't have the awareness, and if you don't have the influence, and if you don't have the access, you're not going to succeed. So, yeah, as you say this, that front area is the awareness. Like, if you don't see life in that building, it's just a building.
Right.
Like any other building. We want life. We want human connection, authenticity.
People bring people, and people see others that are engaged in this thing, and they want to be a part of it. So we definitely have a calling out, a natural calling out to people to engage.
And not everybody's a musician.
No.
And not everybody's going to be playing an instrument or even wanting to play an instrument, but they sure would like to hear some maybe, and or just have a meeting with someone. It's so hard to find a place. Eco Cafe is my go-to place. There are very few places that anybody can go to anymore where you can just meet for a coffee over a business idea.
Yeah, it's ideal in that it's not too loud, it's not too much, it's not too in your face. There's enough spaces around that you can engage with people. But, I mean, the only downside is a little bit out of the way. But, you know, it was put there for a reason, and it has purpose for being there, which is because it's out of the way, it allows you to have that continued moment for a little longer.
Prior to knowing about Eco Cafe, I had to go way the heck out to Sports World Drive to the Williams out there. That's much further.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. No, that's great.
Eco Cafe is not that far. It's a 5-minute jaunt from...
No, it's 3 kilometers. It seems like so far, but it's not.
Yeah, no.
I think what separates this space from anybody else that's doing anything like it is the fact that you can be social. Like, there are venues that you can hear live music, attend a class, attend a workshop, and then you have to leave right away. Whereas here, you could have a board meeting, you can have a workshop, you can have a presentation, you can have a music lesson, and then you can hang out afterwards. And that's when all the fun stuff happens. That's how you get to know the people that you're working with, that you're involved with, and you're like, hey guys, let's hang out, and you want to have a nice coffee, because we're going to have some really good coffee.
So I've heard.
Yeah. I'm just picturing, venues that I've been to. There's some venues that the waiting area isn't even large enough to hold half of who was in the audience at the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
that happens a lot. And then, you just experienced something as a group, or you see somebody that 3 rows away, and you want to have a chat with them afterwards. They're gone because you can't physically be in the space. So I think the plans we have for the design of the large space are really going to help facilitate those types of collisions and social interaction.
Amazing. I think it's conducive to people being people and interacting. When you can give them enough space that they can feel safe in their space, but also enough proximity that you can engage easily with others. And like you said, a lot of businesses have these little lobbies that it's not conducive. Or
look at the schools, the music schools. You go in for your lesson?
To be honest, I've never been in a music school. So the truth comes out. I'm not much of a musician either.
That's okay. You're a businessman.
But and we've discovered, over the course of these 6 weeks, we've discovered that it's a very similar concept of musician to business owner. We have these, inspirations that we live to do, and we have the mechanisms that we have to create to be able to do it because we don't know where or how to find those.
But we tend to do it in isolation.
No, absolutely.
You're doing it all on your...
Unless you become a community builder, and I've had that opportunity in other forums, but this is exactly the same opportunity to build a community. So, we've done it through tourism, through services, and then this is now through, personal engagement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One example of something I did at my music school is I always had a foosball table in the waiting room because you've got people waiting.
I didn't know you were into sports.
Yeah, it's I don't know what sport that is.
Isn't it soccer on sticks?
I think it is. But I would come out in between teaching students, and I would see often the kids that were waiting for the next lesson playing foosball with each other, but they didn't know each other.
Yeah, well.
But it was just the music school that had a foosball table in the waiting room. I could have had a bunch of magazines. We had
or darts.
Well, maybe not darts. Maybe not darts. Lawn darts. No, not lawn darts either.
I've got a couple cousins that are listening to this who are going to remember
the
way we used to play darts.
Oh, yeah, I bet. So the lawn darts were called jarts. Do you remember that?
I don't know they were
I don't remember
jarts.
that.
Yes, they were original. I'm pretty sure the original brand was Jarts, and they had the big steel head on it.
Yeah.
We used to throw them, we'd play front yard, backyard.
Oh, so over the roof?
Oh, yeah. Throw them over the roof of the house and see how close you could get.
We would play chicken.
And then you wonder why people got hurt.
Yeah, we would play chicken with the regular darts.
Oh, nice.
On a shag carpet. And if you moved your foot, you lost. I ended up with so many darts on my feet.
Now you can't walk as an old man.
Yeah, no, I wobble a bit.
So we won't have any kind of darts.
No darts.
No
this
darts.
place, but we will have instruments around. I think the big space will have at least one piano that people can just walk up to and play. We'll have at least one guitar, probably a couple, maybe some ukuleles. And if you see an instrument, as long as there's nothing else going on, you can go up and actually play it and make some music with your friends.
Yeah, and there's so many extensions to that. I mean, there's so many things that we can do. Don't want to say it right now, but it will. It'll give exposure to various instruments, various opportunities, trials, samples, all those things. So it really will be an organic community around music and ideas and creation.
And food and drink.
Food and drink.
Because
That's
it's
always
more
important.
social than that.
It sounds exciting. When can we go?
Let's go.
Okay. Well, let's raise money first.
Okay.
We have some ideas, some spots. We have some people we were talking to who are at least interested. We're trying to find out the best vehicle for these investors. It's a passion project, but it's also a profit project because we know how to make money.
Right.
We're businessmen. And we're not going to make it at the mercy of the weak. This is a good cause. And so I know it's something that a lot of people are going to be interested in.
Absolutely.
Should we talk about the why?
Yep.
Because, I mean, we've talked about what we're building, but why are we? Like, why us? And we talked about the FML and our own personal fuck my life situations. But I will say from my own perspective, 17 startups, many FMLs during that time, even since high school. I was like new in a big school, grade 12, 4'11". I was asked to join the wrestling club. to beat up grade 9s. It wasn't a very pleasant spot for me. I was definitely isolated. And I had a teacher who said, you really should come out and join us for the cabaret. Now, there was 2. I went to St. Jerome's, so St. Jerome's was an all-boys school. So one of the selling features is that it was at St. Mary's, an all-girls school. So I said, okay.
That's a good
This
selling
sounds
feature.
good.
Yeah.
But I'd never sung before. I'd never been on stage. And he encouraged me to try it out. And I ended up being a blues brother. I was the announcer. I had songs. And after that, I had lots of girlfriends. It was wild. But it brought us together, something I've never tried before. It was fun. It was inclusive. Nobody was, giving me crap about my height. Now, I did have a huge growth spurt during that year. Massive, which brought me to 5'8.5". There's no visuals here.
That was sign language. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sign language. And but so there was that. And then later on, I had a couple startups. One went under. And it was about the time when the kids were going to school, had to do their confirmations, and I thought, I better get back to church. And I got there, and I just couldn't sit through all of that, but I did like singing, so I joined the choir. And within a year, I became the choir director. And it was just so invigorating. It was challenging. But collectively, we were all there. We were all sort of lonely, isolated, working together to try to make something happen. And actually, that's when I met Steve. Mm-hmm. We ended up producing a couple CDs. We did stuff that most choirs don't do. Yeah. Largely because I didn't know better, but I just wanted to make it fun and interesting and have
that's the
projects.
Entrepreneurial spirit in you.
Yeah.
Is
Well, that's part of it.
You don't do the normal.
Yeah.
No, exactly. We're allergic to that.
Well, and I think that's how we loop together ourselves, because I'm not one to do the normal or the mundane. And when you guys came to me with this idea, a lot of it I didn't understand. A lot of it I still don't. I'll always have questions, but the interest is apparent, and the opportunity is immense. And I believe that the things that you have wrapped around the concept make total sense. So that's why I'm in, and it's exciting and it's fun, and it's something that we can build in many ways.
Yeah.
As the things come down the path.
Well, I've been watching the membership grow online at foundersmusiclab.com. People are signing up. I'm not pushing anything out yet.
Perfect.
But we will be. But it's people are interested. Anybody we talk to, they're like, "What? This sounds cool. When are you going to open up?"
Well, and a lot of people say, "Yeah, I used to play guitar," or "Yeah, I used to sing in a choir," or "I took drum lessons when I was younger, haven't played in a long time, would love to get back into making music."
And I talked to a lot of the founders that I was involved with through Communitech and through the early days. And I would say back then we had a very strong community. Like we were helping each other out. It was strong. It changed over the years. But it is a sort of I learned a lot from that. Mm-hmm. That as founders who are just like musicians get together, they start sharing ideas and opportunities just blossom. Like even between you and I.
For sure. It's a seed that gets planted, and all of a sudden wait, but then what if we water it here, water it there, and the ideas start to grow, and then we met. It's like we'd known each other for a long time when we just met.
Yeah, and then
it's that feeling of.
But then we act on it.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because that's the difference in the doers.
Right.
Is that you can't sit with the concept and not do something about it.
And there are a lot of people who are afraid to do. But if you bring them into an environment where others are doing,
It's contagious.
it's contagious.
Yeah.
You start doing.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, it's invigorating and contagious. It inspires. It's inspirational as well as aspirational.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And those things don't happen unless you're in the same space as each other.
Right.
You know, you don't connect. I'll connect you over email, and then somebody might email somebody, and then that's the end of it. But if you sit down, you're in the same room, you're having a drink. How's your coffee? Oh, I got this kind of coffee. This is the best coffee I've ever had. Thanks, Ed. You have something to talk about, or look at that guitar hanging on the wall, or, oh, I know how to play Stairway to Heaven. Here, listen to me go. If you're in the same space, you're talking with each other, and then you say, hey, I know this person. Why don't we meet here every Wednesday night, and then we'll make this our Wednesday night something club. You know, if you have the people in the space together, that's how you get to know each other, and that's where the ideas happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see it all the time.
Yeah. But we talked about this in one of the episodes. This area is very conducive to that. Mm-hmm. Like we're a builder community.
Right. And this builder community and this, personal oriented community took a giant blow in the last, decade for obvious reasons, but it's this is a seed of an idea of how to do it again.
You know what it is? It's like the fires, like the forest fires. It wipes out all of the growth, but then all the new growth starts coming in, and it makes it bigger and stronger.
Yeah. No, you're right. In many ways, and other than the smoke, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Especially when the people south of us complain.
Yeah, what?
Your wildfires are hurting us again.
Chemicals in the air.
Hey, we're straightening things out up here, all right?
Yeah. We're raking our forests.
No, but going back to what you were saying, Steve, it's important and it's interesting to see that whole personal interaction amongst people, because I think discourse happens best when we're in front of each other. And I think that we're losing that as a society. I think that our children have lost that because their means are different. But for people, our peers, it's still very, very important, because the best thing comes with collaborative in-person effort. Yeah. And I'm not saying that you have to, that you can't do certain things technically that give you, the ability to do so. But it's the difference between making a podcast, looking at each other's eyes, than on a Zoom call.
Right.
Yeah.
There's an emotional aspect to that conversation that gets lost. And we have to wear pants.
Yes.
We do. But then we get to see your cool car on the way in.
Yes, you can.
Because on a Zoom call, that wouldn't have happened.
No, it wouldn't have. You might have heard it because it's pretty loud. But no, you're right. And it's that opportunity to just sit, talk, look at each other's eyes, and multiply that in a factorial version when we have this venue, and it will be conducive to many great things.
Well, I like what Bill had said once when he called it. He said that there used to be there are recreation leagues for sports, but there's nothing like that for music for adults. Generally speaking, you can play hockey, you can play
soccer. That's another sport.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of the
dance
sports.
The YMCA.
You could.
Is that another one we can't use?
I don't know.
Well, we could.
The song.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah, no, you can't use any.
No, we can't use that one. We barred that one's been banned.
I'm gonna have to bleep that out later.
Edit.
But just the idea of having a space where you go every week. Weekly schedules are good for people, I think. A lot of people think weekly. Whatever it is, we're going to have a whole bunch of programs that will allow adults to come together and enjoy or participate.
Some we've done.
Yes.
And have been extremely successful
Absolutely.
at. Extremely successful, to the point where they're asking us to get it going again. Mm-hmm. More you than us. But
yep.
And so the demand is there.
Yeah.
The demonstration, the whole instructional side of it has been proven for ages. The community side is really, it's proving to be very evident in a lot of the things that people are just clamoring to be a part of. Mm-hmm. pickleball. Look at that. People are they can't get enough of being out and getting out.
Yeah,
And but for the musicians, there's not much.
it's true.
So and then you throw founders in there, and I will express that founders are definitely different than entrepreneurs. You have to read my blog
Okay,
on the site.
I will read it.
Yep. And everybody else out there, because I'm brilliant. No, I'm kidding.
We know you. We know you are.
Your problem, Bill, is that you just wherever you go, there's always a community that miraculously springs up around you. You started the work at the club at the gym,
The BBC.
the BBC,
Yeah.
and that you're the reason I joined that gym. Because you said you need to come to this gym because it's awesome here. I didn't join the BBC because it didn't work out because I had the
It was
kids.
before breakfast.
Exactly.
That's what it meant. It
And
stood
I had-
for Before Breakfast Club,
Yes, I had
and he
the
can't
children.
get up. He's a musician.
Hey,
I know you work till 2 a.m.
Stay-at-home dad. But wherever you go, these communities just kind of blossom. You can't even walk your dog alone. How many people walk your dog with you in the mornings?
Oh, they join in. It can be anywhere from 4 to 10 to 20.
Wow.
And that's,
It just happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nothing you can do about it.
You should see him on the golf
it's a
course.
sickness.
People just follow him. He's got this. He has his own cheering section that follow him around the course.
He doesn't pay them.
happy. No,
Like,
no.
another one.
Another one?
Another one.
I go on trips. with their neighbors, and we used to. It's been a while, but we had every airport I go into, there's somebody I know there. It's like, oh my God, Bill, just shut up. But that's okay. I love people. I love community because I know how healing it is. Mm-hmm. For me, it's healing. If we want to get into therapy here, I was a Air Force brat, so I didn't have friends until I was 7 or 8 years old. That made a huge impression on me, and so even when I got to school, the schools were already formed, the friendships were formed, and I was an outsider. I was always the outsider. Always felt that way. I don't think I ever was, because the people were really great. But I think part of the recognition is that people who are outsiders need community, and everybody, I think, feels that they're an outsider at some point. And if we don't have these communities, we're going to have a lot more mental illness. We do have a lot more mental illness. We're going to have a lot of isolation, anger, and it's just, life is not good that way.
To be honest, I think, I was listening to what you were saying, and I'm a child of the same, syndrome. Not military for us. It was, my dad lived overseas. So you have a transition at 7. Then you have another transition at 14. So that, those long, created friendships get severed, and then you have to start all over again. So for me, it happened 2 or 3 times. And then as an adult, I lived in 3 different countries. So you do it as an adult, and you break your chains of engagement as well. So you have to rebuild it. And once you start doing it again and again, you kind of get more practical at building that community around you.
Mm-hmm. You're not afraid to.
No, because you understand the value to it, and when you have it, sometimes, like anything, you take it for granted, and when you lose it, it becomes more important to your understanding of what are the things that you need, and what's the value there.
Right.
And so you have the opportunity to be able to develop them again. But now, when you do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you become more adept at getting the result quicker.
Right.
So
Right.
Therefore, you're right, and I identify with that aspect of that community need and the channel that it provides, away from isolation, away from just not having that support system that we all want and need.
It's a basic human need.
Right, and I think that the digital version of it doesn't provide the same end result as the natural one.
Right.
So
Especially when you combine music with food and drink. and a space to enjoy all of those things.
And a creative sharing idea place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes the thing of magic. It
Yep.
becomes that's the special sauce that everyone's looking for, but it has to have all the components.
Right.
You do just music by yourself, it's not the same thing. You sit at home and have a cup of coffee, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
You
But
you have a business idea and you talk to the wall and not a lot gets done.
The other side is if you're in a group or in a community where you have to, where it's not inclusionary, where it is, where you've got prima donnas in it, where you've got negativity, that's just as destructive.
Oh, you mean high school?
Listen, it doesn't stop at high school. I've been in some choirs that had.
Well, I guess UMass was the same way, so you're right.
Yeah, there you go.
It repeats itself.
So it really has to be curated. The community, the people can't be afraid to show up. People can't be afraid to contribute. People can't be afraid to make mistakes publicly.
No, and you're right, but that's part of the special sauce is that you're
is.
creating the special sauce so that those natural friction points that make it uncomfortable or hard or nasty or mean aren't a core part of it.
Right.
So that's the curation aspect is key, and that's the special sauce is the curation.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yeah. It's fostering a supportive environment.
Yeah.
And it
It's
needs
important.
guidance like any other community, and you build these things, and they always need the founder's concept to stay true to the purpose.
But the founder cannot be so egotistical that they demand that their vision, except for me. But
And me.
yeah.
No, but you're right. Usually the ones that have the founder, because there's a fine line between a founder and a dictator.
Yeah.
And so as a founder, you want to curate, but you don't want to make it stagnant. You don't want to make it predictable. You want to leave those elements that make it special. So you have to be able to take a step back and let it grow,
Right.
And then just guide it a little bit here and there. And usually it's not always, I think the founders are one generational aspect of it. I think then there's a handoff to a founder version 2 or the
Operations.
Because, but operations. Yes, there's the operational side of it. But
Well, we talked about it with Blake.
yeah, no, but you need to have that guidance that will continue to keep the founder's concept whole,
The vision.
even if it is from an operational perspective. And so the founder it takes a step back and can kind of see the whole picture, and then there's other peripheral founders that are creating improvement aspects to the original, but still curating the idea.
Right. And they feel involved.
Yes. Well, they
Yes.
are involved, and they
And
But
they're
collectively,
important.
they're very important.
Yeah.
The collective is much more important than the individual.
because look at how many companies and how many businesses fail when the founder is gone.
I can point to a few of them personally.
I bet you can. So, but it's the ones that create the culture that envisions or that comprises
Well,
the
but also
founders.
recognize the need of the who is paying for it. Like, why did it become successful? If it was successful, it's generally because the founder understood what was missing in the marketplace and was able to build something and was able to maintain it. And then when they, for whatever reason, if they have to step back, we talked about this with Blake, with Enyo's. That transition between when Enyo and Rosa stepped out or stepped back and sold to, I think Ray, was it? It had to be the right person. It had to have someone who could understand that vision and carry it forward.
Yes, or else it dies.
Or else it dies. and it
Or
would
it's
have
the
died.
handoff to your children that don't want the business, or that haven't learned how the business was built and created. They just know how to spend the money.
Yeah.
and or their their perspective on life isn't what was given to them. I mean, I saw it in the village when the founder, the Shantz family, exited, and it left this giant void.
True.
With lack of direction, lack of administration, lack of a whole lot of lacks.
Yeah.
And we created a BIA that kind of didn't replace, but at least started to rebuild a community that made sense to the modern day needs.
So this is St. Jacobs.
Yes, in St. Jacobs. So we had to rebuild, and what we were talking about that the original founder, I sat on the board and I was on the chair of the board for a long time. But at some point, you have to hand that off to others and let their fresh ideas come to fruition. Mm-hmm. And then steward their way and then remind them of why this decision got made, or why did we take that path, or what, terminology or what, rules and laws we had to follow in order to get to a specific end. And maybe those things have changed, or the priorities are different. But that's that stepping of process through it to continue the community growth.
Right.
Fun.
Yeah, absolutely fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, the references that we have from our previous episodes come up in everything that we talk about.
Yeah.
With Dana. With Dana.
Learned so much from her.
Oh, man.
So good.
And Victoria.
Victoria's fantastic.
And then Noel.
Yeah.
It was part entertaining. Well, they were all entertaining,
yes.
But there was a lot to unpack in that whole experience of how he created his own life, that so many people could learn from. Having this coffee shop, having this community capability where we can bring ideas together can really help reinforce other people's objectives with regards to building companies or starting or just enjoying music.
I don't think we have the right term for what this space is going to be after. So
I kept hearing like incubator.
Yeah, I mean, but that incubator is very, very, I don't know, techie, very...
Yeah, it's techie, it's cold.
And it is an incubator, so it has characteristics.
I guess if you're a farmer, incubator means something else, but...
But it has characteristics of the incubator model. A cafe seems limiting to all the other things that we want it to be.
Right.
A club seems too unstructured to really provide what we plan to provide. So I'm still not wrapped around what to call it other than FML, and then explain what the giant concept around that is. But we'll get there, and I'm not.
I got a little list.
Sure.
It's a place. It's a space. It's not just a venue. It's a space where we will have world-class concerts. We will have workshops, but it's also a launch pad. It's a clubhouse. It's a creative gym. It's kind of like School of Rocks meets Cheers meets a co-working space for creatives and startups.
Is that going to be the elevator story? Because we're going to need a really tall building.
Yeah. We're going to Dubai.
We need 20,000 square feet.
And a big elevator.
Well, the cool part is that the design that we have on paper right now makes very good use of all the spaces that we have. Most of the spaces have multiple uses.
Yeah.
I've got the music lesson side with 5 rooms, 3 smaller ones, 1 larger, and 1 significantly larger that you could have ensemble rehearsals in there, but could also be a boardroom if you wanted to have a business meeting in there. But then each of the rooms has multiple use capabilities. The main space, of course, will have lots of uses. The idea is we want to build a space that is well equipped. It has the tools that we need with the layout that we need to enable the community that we're trying to build.
So it's a flexible place.
Very, very flexible.
But you're looking for that word. That incubator, that word, like, what are we? And maybe that's the problem that innovation has.
Well, I think lab has the more.
Yeah,
for me, the lab has a connotation that explains it better, because it's a place where you're experimenting to create something.
Yeah.
But the music lab, I think, will shut out. Oh, I just wanted to meet someone for coffee. So that I'm still not there, but
Right.
But I mean, I get the bigger gist. The elevator story is an example of that. Is that I saw the list and I heard the list and I agree on everything on the list, but the list, we need to boil it down to a couple words that will entice everyone to ask the questions about the list.
Right. And that's always the objective with a startup.
Yeah, that's why I'm not in marketing.
Yeah. We actually we came up with some today.
We did.
We had fun with AI.
What was it that we did?
Well, you have it on your computer, but I know it was so long ago. It's like 2 hours ago.
Oh my God. What did we say? You could do the change, this one, number 2.
Number 2.
Because we haven't really talked about that.
Oh, did this
The
come
evolution.
from the evolution
From
or
the FML acronym.
Well, I did.
Did we?
I talked about the.
Oh, I guess we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's you're not broken. You're just adrift.
Mm.
That's what we mean when we talk about FML, not as a joke, but as a reality. And this space is our answer to that.
Right.
It's a haven.
Social reality complex.
Social. It's a mental health gymnasium. Ouch.
Or it's a founder's music lab.
Oh, it could be a founder's music lab, but it's a
starting to make more
creative
sense.
space. Yeah, it's a community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the lab part of it because it means you're going to experiment.
Yeah, it's not fixed.
Yeah, come up with some new ideas.
Well, and your concept of spaces that are malleable to different things, then that gives it that lab feel.
But it also has to have things that are very specific. Like it can't, for a musician, you have to have the right sound.
Well, yeah, we're not going to
tempering.
have Bunsen burners and gas, flames. We're going to have connections and connectivity and infrastructure and PAs and the ability to make
Screens
it
and
to eliminate
projectors.
those. But ideally, you can eliminate a lot of the minutia that stop people. Like,
Right.
A musician's like, oh, I'd love to go jam, but I got to grab my amp and my guitar and all
Yep.
the wires and then,
And why do we always
I'll
go to
just-
the drummer's place? Why
I'll just go have a beer instead. But when you can just show up and literally plug into something and start playing, that would be a huge change. I don't think that's very common. And I don't know anything about this, but it doesn't sound like it's a common thing that you
No.
could do.
Well, and what's really convenient is that a lot of times I know I have had ideas that would be really cool to do that I might have done at my house, but you don't want to have that stuff at your house. You don't want to invite a bunch of people to your house. And not everybody has the capability of having any kind of a band rehearsal at their house or any kind of group.
You mean drummers aren't conducive to kids sleeping?
They're really not. But sometimes it's just, your house is your personal space.
No, absolutely.
And if it's somebody you don't know terribly well, but you want to get to know better, let's do it. That's what this space is for
Right.
getting to know people and to experiment with new projects with people. Hey, we want to put this new band together.
Look at Noel.
Exactly.
Well, what he did with George Michaels and Andrew Ridgely, they found a cafeteria?
Oh man, I can't remember.
Yeah, it was at the university.
It was at the
yeah.
university,
Yeah,
the tech,
Or
one of the many
school.
that he failed from.
Yeah.
That he was kicked out from. That was a great segment. But they were able to find a place. They ended up with a bunch of guys that weren't right.
But also, they wouldn't have met if he wasn't playing a piano in the cafe.
Yes.
It's literally
Yes.
a piano in a cafe. We're going to have a piano. You have a piano in your cafe.
I have one. Actually, I have another one for you if you're interested. I don't know where to put it though. I'll send you some data.
Are you getting it?
Huh?
The baby grand?
Oh, I keep getting more information on the baby grand.
It is a beauty. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so
But that's the thing, Noel's story.
But we
where
don't
he
have
met
that
those
here.
guys. We don't.
and
really.
you look at the area that he grew up in, it was a hive of music. It was Elton John.
Yeah, I lived down the
It was
street, and
Peter
yeah.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
It was Phil Collins. It was.
And we have those people here.
We do have
Yeah.
them. There's a ton of talent, but they're on their own.
Yeah.
So if we can bring these people together, and it's not a, one night, what do they call those? Open night, mic night.
A one night stand?
A one night stand.
Oh, not those.
No, a one night mic stand. Ouch.
Ouch, indeed.
But it's not that, and it's not just a band coming to play while you're eating dinner. This is a community. We may have a band that plays where everybody comes and supports, or comes to enjoy. That may happen. The nice thing about calling it a lab is that it's organic. There's a lot of experimentation that's going to go on. There's a lot of great things that are going to come out of it. But I think the underlying drive for us is to get rid of the isolation, enable connections, and support.
have the space and the
So
tools.
I got an idea. We could just make it FML XXX.
Oh,
We'd have
that's a different one. You have to go.
We
That's
could have
in Toronto.
a real big draw.
It does sell. I know. We could get into trouble.
It's triple experiments. That's all.
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yes.
Why do I regret bringing it in? No, I don't. I'm kidding.
Sometimes I do.
No, I never do. Yeah, but that was a great question. What's the elevator pitch? I think we still have to nail that down. I think the FML, the fuck ups to the, what was the one that we came up today? Fuck ups to. Oh, it was such a beautiful one.
You didn't write it down?
No, it was on your. It was on your chat.
But
GPT.
I think this is the thing, Bill, is that we talk about it in this manner, in this forum, and in this way, and we keep hashing it out. And every so often we do the same thing and kind of say, where have we traveled from? Where are we traveling to? And does it make sense to where we were? Because that will get adjusted. But right now we have what we have, and it's a really good, solid start.
Yep.
It's just it's demonstrative that we are still building this thing, and we're defining it, and we're creating it. And
it has always been my challenge in dealing with innovation, is because innovation is not like other things.
it's not static either.
It's not static. You can say it's sort of like this, combined with this, and added with this. That's the best you can do, because people don't have a formatted impression of FML. What we are creating is different than anything else that's been out there. So it's a combination of things.
I wonder if there's something like it on the other side of the world and we don't know about it.
There probably is. I mean,
Or Mars. And, on the other side of Mars, we don't know what's there either.
easily.
We lost them.
I'm looking up. Was that part of it?
Do you have the deck?
You should just record.
It was on the deck.
You should just record your conversations forever.
So it was like Founders Music Lab. Find your sound, find your people. Community, music, and discovery.
Nice.
And then what we offer: adult music lessons and community programs, live stage and studio recording sessions, business, tech, and songwriting workshops, performance, and lounge spaces.
It's a good start.
Yep.
I think the business part in the middle needs to be rearranged a little bit. I like the idea of it, but is it, in that context, is it the music, the
Right.
business of music? And I think that's exclusive of maybe what we're thinking. So
Yeah.
an idea is,
This is the battle that Steve always that I have with Steve, and for obvious reasons, Steve is a musician. I'm a founder.
right. But the business of music is another concept that you haven't touched on, and that's really important for people to learn.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
that education aspect of the music business,
Right.
because everyone, I want to be a musician and I want to do these things, and they don't know anything about the reality of what that means other than their ability to play or enact or whatever an art form, but there's a business aspect to that too.
There certainly is. Yeah.
But that's not exclusive of all the business ideas and acumen that we can collect in this type of space, because people really want to engage with like-minded sparks in their head individuals that it may not be the same widget we're talking about, but the needs and the concepts and the infrastructure
The
required
thinking
to
processes,
do it is the same.
limitations
Yeah.
or the not the limitations.
But this is also the space where we will run our own programs where we bring people in.
Yeah.
We
I mean,
can
we're not the expert
literally-
in everything.
No,
have a
and it's going to
workshop.
bring in a ton more. Well, that's the whole point, is you're going to create this little crucible, and then all of a sudden you get a bunch of other components to it that we haven't even imagined that will fit right in. And we'll walk or march right along in step with all these things because they have a common thread.
What's really cool is that you will find connections with things that you didn't think there were connections.
Yeah.
Like someone,
Yeah, like me here.
yes, yeah. Where's the connection with the coffee shop? Exactly. Here's another point: the turning passion into purpose.
That's a big lesson that has to be taught.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a big road
It's a long
for someone who's building a business or someone who's writing a song.
It's not immediate. It's
No,
not. It's not.
no,
it
it's
can
a
be,
road.
It can take a time. It can take a really long time. It can take a lifetime.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that has to be vocalized and explained to others, because
And commiserated
it's
with
not a
other
switch.
people.
Right.
Yeah, these things
Along
aren't
the way.
switches that you turn
No.
on and off. There's a flow rate that has to occur in order to get the right.
Unlike half of the social media ads out there that says you can make $1 million a month in
Oh, I did
in
that.
3 months. Oh yeah.
Millions.
Millions of what? Coffee
Millions
beans.
of wasted time.
Yeah,
Millions of wasted minutes.
seconds and minutes. So this is about turning passion into purpose. It was fuck isolation, find engagement.
I like that.
I love that one. Help musicians and founders thrive in a community.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not just a venue, we're an ecosystem, an incubator, collision cafe, creative school, beyond the industry norm.
I like it. That's
Okay.
good. That's solid.
That is solid. Open to adults, 19 plus, ideal for families. Apply online today.
Can we bring pets?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
Do dogs pee on guitars?
Only if you lay them on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had a
Gotta teach you.
a cat pee in my saxophone case once, and I was not happy.
Oh,
I had to
that-
throw it out. It was a beautiful, like a Swedish lined thing that was molded right to the saxophone. I had to toss it. I tried everything.
Oh, no.
The cat or the... The cat disappeared the same day.
You're funny,
And
that.
it's funny how he used to curl up right in the shape of the sax,
Yeah.
and I closed the lid.
I just watched, what was it? Stick.
Yeah, it's good, right?
It was great.
Yeah,
Mark Moran and
Yeah.
the cat.
Mark Maron.
Mark Maron,
Yeah.
yeah, and the cat in the motorhome pisses in his in the cavity underneath the bed.
No, didn't watch it.
It's hilarious, Owen Wilson, but it's a great story about someone who's FML'd.
Nice.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, things were going great for him, and then took a hard left turn,
Yep,
and took him a little while to get back to
to
doing
figure
things.
things out,
Yeah,
and
but
it was a
he used
community.
his expertise.
He used his expertise, but he built a community.
Yep.
He and the community members that joined him were going through their own personal FMLs,
yep.
and by colliding, It was a great story. I mean, I'd recommend it. It's a little hokey at the end, but
Hoki's okay.
I think we've
Hoki's
got
good.
one or two left to finish. That
okay, I won't spoil it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fun.
I always need a list of things that I'm going to watch someday.
Oh yeah. Well,
My problem's time. I have to travel. I have to go do things, vacation.
yeah.
Sure.
Drive around in an antique vehicle. Like these
terrible.
things consume time.
This is true.
Time and monkey grease.
Hey, we were talking about these communities and building the communities and the FMLs and all that. And we started the podcast. You brought up the tour you're doing.
Oh, yes, the tour.
This is probably a good time to bring this in.
Yeah.
So we, as a business, one of the things that adaptability brought over time was that you want to start to be able to focus on things that you really want to do. And one of those was always the travel to origin. So I really wanted to encompass that aspect of coffee in my life. So you deal with this product that comes in a bag from off of a boat, out of a container of some other country. And what's on the other end of that? So that curiosity led me to want to go. I got an opportunity to go earlier in life, but I talk to a lot of people that have been places and they say, oh, I went to a coffee farm. And I always ask them, and how long were you there? Oh my God, it was like 2 hours. We saw a whole bunch of stuff. Can you name any one of those stuff things that you saw? And they're like, well, we
saw trees. We took a bus up a hill.
Yeah. And
They gave us a coffee.
Yeah.
There was things that moved and it was so beautiful. I don't feel that that's enough. And so I wanted to build something that was educational, comprehensive, that's part of the aspect of the business to teach people about what we do. So I wanted to go to Origin and I wanted to see it and I wanted to feel it. And as we delved a little bit deeper.
So where was Origin?
So Origin is any country that grows coffee.
Yeah, I know, but
in my situation, it's Colombia.
Colombia, okay.
I've been to other countries. I was able to go to Rwanda and see how things are done there. I've been in Guatemala. I've been in other places of Colombia. I've been to Costa Rica before. I've seen a few of the places that do this, and they all do it their own way and their own differences. But in essence, you have a tree, you have some beans, you have to get them off. And there's people that will do that. They'll pick it. It's not something that you can do mechanically. It doesn't work that way. So there's a whole bunch of manpower involved, and no one really knows. So that aspect, I read a book that this woman who I actually met because the book was so good, I contacted her and then we had a conversation and everything. She spoke about how many hands touch coffee before you consume it. So there's about 60 sets of hands that will manipulate that product before you actually drink it.
Wow.
Of those 60, 20 of them are here in country, and there's 40 touch points that are in country where it's grown. So that doesn't mean that everybody's touching your coffee. It means that coffee got picked and then it got selected, then it got washed, then it got pulped, then it got separated, then it got the defects were taken out of it, then it got repacked, then it got transported, then it got certified. Like there's all these different touch points. And so what we're trying to do is showcase that whole environment to people. So we bring them from Canada or the US and we fly into Colombia and then we take them to a coffee farm for a week. It happens to be a very, beautiful location. It's very strategic. It has lots of other components that are accessible. And so we stay together as a group on a coffee farm and we do those artisanal processes so that people can understand the how. And then we weave into that the commercial aspects. So you do coffee picking, and then in the afternoon you go to a farm where the actual workers are working, and you can observe and interact with them. And we typically have a lunch with them. So then now you can even have a conversation with these people and understand their lives and what they're doing.
Oh, cool.
And then you go to the milling aspect. So we go to a coffee mill. You do it by hand one day, and then in the afternoon you go to the coffee mill and see machinery that's actually doing this process that you just did 10 minutes ago, and now you actually understand what it was that was happening.
That's awesome.
And we do it over the course of the week, and then we sprinkle in tourism. And there's a lot of history, and there was the pre-Spanish history, and then there's the actual post-Spanish history in Latin America. So you get to see these influences and then walk the streets of these remote locations that the Spaniards built in the mountains. And you're like, how in God's name did they bring this here in the 16th century? You know, like how did they get these roads, these stones, these churches? And you think of the terrain to get there, and it's just mind boggling, but you have to actually live it.
So experiential.
So it's very experiential and it's spiritual. It's humane. You get to see the humanity of this business.
I really think people are getting tired of the cruise ships and the
Beaches.
Just
the beach.
Yeah, the resorts, just the resorts.
I think some of those things are hollow in that you don't you bring back an experience, but you don't bring back any knowledge or insight. And so what we notice is when we brought
I
people
don't even
down,
think it's an experience.
which part of it? The
resort.
It is an experience because it's not their 9 to 5 in an office.
Depends on the resort too.
Yeah.
But it's an overly curated experience. This is a little bit more of a touch point with nature and a touch point with
humanity,
with the simplicity of what in essence that we do.
Right.
And it's very similar to any other food generating
industry,
yes, because I mean I'm sure sugar has the same things, and I'm sure other crops that are worldwide. If you were able to immerse yourself into the understanding of what it is that they do and why, and meet the people that are doing it, it would be very interesting. So people are looking for a deeper level of understanding, as well as that tourism and liberating, engagement or experience.
Right.
So we sprinkle in both ends of it, and in a dose that's palpable, and it's not overly demanding physically either. So we've gone with people that are in their 80s as well as their 20s. And as a group, they're all interested. The common thread for them is the coffee, but they all lived an experience that was unique to itself, and not encumbered by the experience that the 80-year-old person's having either.
So
or vice versa.
I'm sorry, how often do you do this?
Annually. We try to do it because the crop season is in the fall. In this area of Colombia that we travel to, it starts in September and ends like at the end of December. So we try to go in the middle of October, which is the height of crop, and therefore you see the most activity in each section of the chain.
Wow.
And so that's why we leverage it that way, in terms of getting the biggest bang for your buck, of understanding what happens to this product. And it's a place where the climate's very similar all year round, so you're not affected by that. And also you have to time things properly. Here in North America, there's a lull between Thanksgiving and Christmas that is the kind of only fall season that makes it attractive to take a trip. Because everyone, it's too close to Christmas, and then I've already got Christmas, or Thanksgiving. We have the benefit that here they're separated more than the U.S., but the U.S. is a tighter window. But October still kind of lends itself, and it's early harvest season here is one of the main reasons to be here. So you don't want to walk away from that either. So it's a fine line of finding the when, the how, and I mean I've loved it so much that we've recently purchased land there. And so you can actually come and walk 5 minutes away from where we're staying. You can walk around my farm, our family farm, and you can kind of see what it is that attracted us and why we wanted to do this and what we're going to develop over time there. So there's another whole venture that's in the pipeline.
Funny enough, it's around community.
Absolutely. It's an extension, and maybe we can make it, the FML 2.0 destination.
The grind.
Music lessons and coffee tours in
Well,
Colombia.
Latin music lessons.
It'll be the FML coffee
We
grind.
can bring in Shakira to help us out.
Okay. Now you got me.
The Africans got waka waka. Well, what can we do down there?
Now, okay. So how would anybody know about this? Find out about it?
We have brochures out in the market. We have the cafe that's accessible. We have our website, so ecocoffee.ca, eco-coffee.ca. And if you just go to the main page, right at the top of the page, it says adventure. Start there.
Okay.
And then we are fully licensed for travel. We are partnered with a safari organization called Socially Responsible Safaris. So once you do one of these trips, then they have the ability to replicate in other areas if you want to go to other places in the world. So if that's the kind of thing that you really enjoy doing, these experiential things, we do it with them because they know they have their expertise. And they know what they're doing around travel. So we don't pretend to be travel agents.
Right.
We are the curators of the experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
So that's a long-winded answer, but it's kind of, in order to get the picture of what it is that we're providing, and it's not very costly, you can see around the page, it's not a big ask for the gain.
Right. So you're harping on me about the elevator pitch and listen to you.
I talk too much, but that's always the case.
So do I.
That's a common theme. I'm asking you to boil down the essence, but my essence is now boiled down to, imagine what I was like earlier in life.
Oh my goodness. In multiple languages.
Yes. Lots of vocabulary, excess.
Oh, I can imagine this. I've seen pictures of some of your other stuff, your other adventures, and they are adventures.
Absolutely. Every day is an adventure, though. And I
you're
think
trying different things. Just some of the stories you come back with.
The day you stop doing things that make life adventurous is the day you stop living, for me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't preach to others that they have to be the same way. Everyone has to be their own way. Mm-hmm. For me,
whatever
this
they're
is
comfortable with.
What inspires the day-to-day juices flowing is driving a 60-year-old vehicle and never knowing if the destination is going to be attained. But it's not that important when you get in that you know that.
Right.
If you don't know that, then that's a problem. If you think that that's the reliability, well, buy a new car. I mean, I have a normal car to get to where I have to go on time. But I have a choice to get into another vehicle that is an adventure in the making every time you sit down.
You don't know if you're going to make it.
No, you don't know if you don't know where you're going to make it. And
okay, for those who haven't seen the pictures,
we'll put up a picture on the podcast. I think
you'll put it on the podcast, and yeah, that'll be the episode 7 podcast picture.
There you go,
the adventure,
and it's a work in progress. It's a ugly duckling at this point.
It is so cool.
It is very fun.
Is so cool.
Everybody looks at it, and it's interesting to see people's reaction to something. And
what's the vehicle?
It's a 1961 Willys CJ5. Willys predated the Jeep. Mm-hmm. It looks like a Jeep. It
smells like a Jeep.
Sounds like a tractor. It smells like a gas station, and it doesn't go very fast.
Yeah, most Jeeps.
Well, this is exceptionally slow. Top end, I think the fastest I've had it going was downhill at about 62 kilometers per hour. Downhill, yeah.
In neutral or?
No, that was in third gear, okay. and at that point, the engine sounds like it might explode.
Yeah.
And they were made that way. They're actually a very noisy engine, and if you look into the history of these motors, they were used all over the world to get all kinds of destinations. But it's not built for constant distance like we do things today.
Yeah, right.
It's built to go and stop, go and stop, go and stop, go and stop all day long.
Right.
So you don't want to get on a highway. You don't want to get on an 80 mile per hour road and try to get to a destination. You want to take every dirt road that you can in between and see what's down there.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing part.
The true adventure vehicle.
Ideal cruising speed is about 40 kph on a dirt road, and
so it's ideal for school.
It's ideal for school.
For school zones.
School zones, because that's
school zones,
yes.
Yeah. But they don't have dirt roads.
No, that's true. Okay.
Just the Mennonite schools.
Yeah, but there's 60K.
Not the ones where I was driving down one the other day, and it was about
40
or 30. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
And it's ideal cruising speed. Yeah. It's amazing. It takes a want.
Yeah.
It's not about practicality. It's about something else. It's about that feeling.
It's about life.
And people, I like the windshield down, and people are like, why are you driving with the windshield down? What happens if a rock hits you?
Feel the wind in your hair.
C'est la vie. but it's
being on
to me, it's
roller coaster.
I was saying to Steve earlier, it's these vehicles came right after the horse. I mean, essentially, they were the first sport ute. They were built to drive where cars don't at the time, and where only animals could get you.
Right.
And that's kind of the wild part about driving in it. He's like, you don't want to be on the highway. You just want to get from point A to point B, take a real car.
You were telling me about a reference to, was it in Colombia where they had dropped, was there a war or what was going on?
There was a war. It was called WW2.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Heard of it.
Yep.
And you might have heard of that one. After WW2, they had thousands of Jeeps in Europe and they wanted to get rid of them. The Europeans didn't want them. It was just, dirt and, parts laying around everywhere. So the U.S. government took them back and they put them on aircraft carriers and they were dumping them into the ocean. As it should be.
Yeah.
Because that's the right disposal
as
method.
is their want. Yeah.
Anyway, and then the Colombian government found out. They decided that they made a deal and they brought, I don't know how many aircraft carriers full of Jeeps to Colombia. And they, in essence, replaced the mules in the coffee fields.
Yeah.
And that was, for some reason, since I was a kid, I always loved Jeeps. Then when I fell into coffee, I realized, oh my God, Jeeps are in coffee too.
Yeah.
I need to have one of those.
Can you get one there? Have you found one?
Oh yeah, they still actually. So the Overland plant, which is the one that built Willys and other brands back then in the '60s, when it shut down, they took the machinery, the tooling to Colombia, and they still actually build parts and accessories, but not to the public. It's not a retail thing. The government still has a lot of military and police versions that they still fabricate parts and replacement stuff for.
I'm just saying you need to get another one to be on your farm.
Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, I have to have a Jeep in every town.
in every country where you have a home.
Wow, how things change when you get older.
Yes, markedly differences. Yes.
Well, we're approaching our 90-minute.
All right. Well, we should check out
90-minute podcast.
Yeah. Well, thanks, boys.
It's a good time.
I like our talks.
I do
It's good fun.
It's important that we continue to do so.
I hope others do.
Who
I
cares?
hope we've. Yeah. Who cares?
As long as the two aunts are listening,
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah. Aunt
I
Mary
just think
Jo
it's
and
important to
Aunt Ann.
let people know kind of what our plans are, and I think
Well,
talking to other people is interesting and fantastic. But the point of it is to support what we're trying.
We
to
had
build
said
here.
we were going to take people on the journey with us.
Yeah.
We want to be as authentic about this journey as ultimately what we want to build. And authenticity is the thing that everybody's craving today.
Yeah, and they can see us change. We've said some things here, and then people may be able to compare what our ideas were here with what we ultimately end up with, and that's part of learning about other people's journeys. And
So I think that's the thing that most people don't understand about founders. If you're not a founder, if you've worked for a corporation or an institution, you don't really understand what's going through the crazy heads of those who are creating.
Yeah.
And it's a constant change. It's an evolution. It's organic until it's not. And sometimes this is the purpose of the blog post, the difference between a founder and an entrepreneur. It's the founder is passionate about something and solving a problem. An entrepreneur is about making money. And that's sort of the simple way to put it. And so the key is to really understand that we're all founders. We can all be founders. We all should be founders. We were born as founders, every single one of us, and we lost that founder mentality as we went through school, as we went through trying to be accepted into certain clubs and whatever.
I lost it at
You
birth.
lost your
I lost it at birth.
I
your
think what
founder?
it is-
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I've known you for a bit, and I don't think
they
you've
put me
ever
down and said, "Go forage," and I couldn't do it.
go forage. Yes, get us food.
I think what it's about though is having an idea that you're passionate about and then following through with it. And sometimes it might seem stupid and then you find out if it's stupid because you run it by other people. It's like, hey, Bill, I have this idea for doing this thing. And then you're going to say, well, you're an idiot. And then, hey, Ed, I have an idea for this thing. And you say, oh, no, you're an idiot. So maybe that isn't the best idea. And then I'll come up with another one. And you say, you know what? I think you got something there. And then I talk to this guy over there and he says, you know what? I think you got something there. Why don't you do this? And then I go back to you. What do you think if we did it in this direction? And when you communicate with other people, but you have to be willing to say the stupid ideas out loud.
Right, and not be afraid to be called an idiot,
Yep.
and us not trying to say you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a revolution of sorts because, governments and nations, they don't want you to be that. They want you to
they
follow.
want soldiers.
They just want they want you to toe the line and do what's told for their benefit or for the greater good, is however they want to phrase it. So there is a revolutionary aspect to this, that you're tumbling ideas around that you want to develop, and you need to have sounding boards and you need to have communities that you can sound off of so that you can actually discern what actually does have value and what doesn't.
And you can find people to help you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it alone. No.
Yep. You can't do it alone because you can't know everything.
And it's no fun. That's sort of like the, you did mention something earlier, and I just want to, about the composer.
Yeah.
What's the group called?
Well, there's a thing called the Ravel Orchestration Study Group. And there's a fellow in Toronto named John Herberman. Well, to go back, there's Ron Jones, who does the music for Family Guy.
Right.
Brilliant guy. And he was realizing that his line of work, which is something that I did a lot of as well, you just sit at the computer all day. And we're musicians, and you're supposed to play with other people, but you sit at the computer all day. But if you want to improve your skills and learn from the masters, what he did was he started a thing called the Ravel Orchestration Study Group, Ravel Study Group, in Los Angeles, I think. And people that worked in the same industry as he would get together and study a piece of music. And Ravel is a composer who is very well known for excellent orchestrations, which instruments he used, blah, 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 blah.
Isn't he the guy who did Bolero?
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How could you forget Bo Derek?
And so John in Toronto started the Toronto chapter of the Ravel Study Group. And I've made the drive into Toronto a number of times, and then they started to do them over Zoom. But it's for the express reason to get music people who are normally sitting in front of their computer all day in the same room together talking about music.
Nice.
So it's a real parallel to the problem that we're trying to solve. And hey, maybe John will want to do a Waterloo edition of Ravel sometime.
Maybe he wants to do our podcast. Shout out to John.
John Herberman.
John Herberman.
All right, man.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll have a chat with John at some point. Yeah. So I just found that parallel kind of interesting because we're trying to get people
the human
out of their
connection.
house. You know, somebody who plays guitar, somebody who sings. We want to get them together so they can have some human connection.
Right. We're founders to come out and share with other founders and talk about funding. Talk about prototype development. Talk about
corporate structure,
legal structure, all of those things. These are things that musicians have to deal with too. Also, copywriting, trademarking, whatever. It's a common base, and we'll bring things in as the opportunity allows it. I mean, we'll do these podcasts. We'll continue working on the business plan, and then we'll go out and try to find our investor friends.
Yeah, and then we'll have a space where we can make all this stuff happen and start these collisions happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyways,
good job, boys.
Okay, well, thanks, guys.
That was good times.
It's good times, and we'll see you at number 8.
Number 8.
Cheers.
Can we do let the good times roll? You
No,
don't let me do
we didn't-
any
we-
music.
No, you have to write your own.
Let's
Steve.
write your own. We'll get you at one of our songwriting workshops, and you can write
I
your
have all these songs in my head all the time.
You get a lot of things in there.
All right, boys.
Bye, guys.
I'm shutting her down.
Bye now.
Bye.
This episode brought to you by Eco Coffee. Be sure to visit Eco Cafe in the village of St. Jacobs. We're pleased to offer Eco Coffee products on our website at foundersmusiclab.com.
Some mornings are just a damn lie. You deserve better than a watered-down start. Eco Coffee's original blends cut through the bullshit, delivering a taste of bliss that's as raw and real as it gets. Forget the polite pick-me-up. This is an unfiltered rush, an enchanting jolt that will redefine your mornings. There's no faking this kind of pure, unadulterated bliss. It's the only truth you need to start your